Hey guys, this is Vesper. So let's go over some of the latest balance patch notes for Alex this time. He has some cool new combos this season, and Capcom just loves his forward hard punch. For some reason, they keep buffing it every single update. I also want to give a quick shout out to the following people on Twitter for adding some much needed clarity on these patch notes, because half the time we don't even know what they mean, so be sure to give them a follow. So let's first discuss the general changes from the start of Arcade Edition, which we didn't cover yet, which was mostly universal stuff for Alex and making things just more consistent in his combos. His actual real change in Arcade Edition at the beginning was just his V-Trigger 2 for his DDT and his choke. So the Arcade Edition changes that are the most important thing you guys need to know is that a standing light punch is no longer an anti-air at all this time. Even for cross-ups, they really nerfed the hurt box on it, but it's a universal change across most of the cast. The second thing is this crouching hard punch is a lot more reliable as an anti-air. This will be your go-to now for anti-airing opponents. I know it's more on the slower side, but it's definitely your best option besides the EX air knee smash. Also, jumping hard punch and jumping medium punch are much better jumping attack options now. They got much better hitboxes and more shrunk hurt boxes, and you can use jumping hard kick too for that extra reach if you want a longer jump attack. But ideally, you want to use jumping medium punch or jumping hard punch now. Alright, so let's start with the April patch changes. Back throw damage increased from 140 to 160. So universal changes to throw damage. They only went after Alex's back throw, but it does significantly more damage than his forward throw. Alex's forward throw does 120 damage, 120 stun. So going from 120 to 160, man, that's huge. Alex has one of the strongest back throws in the game now. It's very, very scary. Moving on, Alex's standing light punch reduced the upwards hitbox. Same with his crouching light punch that got nerfed too. Increased the active frames from 2 to 3, reduced the recovery from 8 frames to 7 frames. So further nerfing as an anti-air, which is universal, and that's the same with his crouching light punch. They nerfed that too as an anti-air. But he got some small buffs to make it, just a better light punch in general. It's 1 frame more active, recovers a little bit faster. Because its first intention was to be used as an anti-air. Since Capcom's taken that away, they're just buffing it very, very slightly if you want to use it as a standing light attack. Next up, standing hard kick now forces stand on hit. So when you hit the opponent, it'll force them to stand up. Self-explanatory. This is a great buff and mostly benefits Alex's V-Trigger 2 conversions, since DDT only hits standing opponents. So now if you land a standing hard kick into V-Trigger, into the DDT, it guarantees that it's going to hit. And it's more damaging than the choke in general, because the choke only gives a little extra damage compared to the DDT. So on top of this, your forward hard punch won't whiff anymore if you're really far away and you hit the standing hard kick, for example, because you're standing, you get that extra range to it. So it gives you more reliable conversions in general. This will also benefit V-Trigger 1 as well, because with V-Trigger 1, I mean, it's the same exact thing. If you hit like really, really far away with your standing hard kick, you can convert from there into this. Alright, now let's talk about 3 different changes that all work together. So first off, Alex's crouching hard punch increased float on hit. And then his hard air knee smash, they eased the combo count, delayed the time at which he can move again after hit by 4 frames, and then they increased the separation distance after hit. And then finally, his flying cross chop, that's his down hard punch in the air, they eased the height restriction at which the move can be performed, eased the combo count, and increased the float for mid-air hit. Okay, so let me explain what all this means. First off, when Alex anti-airs with his crouching hard punch now, and lands both hits, he now doesn't have to waste a meter to combo out the EX air knee smash if he wants a hard knockdown. Now he can also use the hard kick version as well. So let me show an example here. Let's say the opponent was jumping at us and we anti-aired with crouching hard punch. If we do the normal knee smash, it won't work, but the heavy version now will work and snag them. Before we had to use the EX version and waste a bar pretty much to guarantee that hard knockdown. I mean, of course you can still use the chops and stuff, you just don't get a hard knockdown. As good as this is, this does come at a price, however. Alex got the Oki on his hard kick version nerfed by adding more recovery and more distance after it hits. It's really obvious. So I'll show you, this is the light kick version. See how close I am to Ryu afterwards. I could dash forward and go for a grab or a medium punch, but the hard kick version, you're really, really far away. It's kind of similar to his EX version, but it's actually worse than his EX version, because you can still get a standing medium punch, but the hard kick version, you don't even get a standing medium punch or a throw. So it comes at a price, unfortunately. Now for Alex's flying cross chop, it can now be done earlier and thus lowered to the ground. So while his crouching hard punch knocks the opponent higher, this allows Alex to now combo into his flying cross chop from a crouching hard punch V-trigger cancel. So you can further combo more after this and even go into the hard kick knee smash, making this a great meterless combo when you combine all these changes together. So let me show you guys an example of this. So not bad, I mean it's meterless and pretty good corner carry. I mean you can even go to the super from this. So that's not bad too. Crouching hard punch in general is great to cancel into V-trigger because it leaves you super plus on block. So it's very good, even if the opponent blocks it, you're still in a really good position to do a forward hard punch or simply just grab them afterwards. If you do happen to hit somebody in the air with the flying cross chop though, you can still do like the same combo, just starting from there. Something like this. So these new meterless combo options give Alex some, some great damage, and they give good corner carry too. Alright, now for Lariat, Alex's forward hard punch can now be cancelled. This is one of the biggest buff Alex has received in this April patch. Lariat over time in general has been given more frame advantage, more active frames, reduced hurt box, and now with this patch it's finally cancelable. I mean, this allows a few things. First, more poke options for Alex in general. So you can poke with this into the chop, for example, and just another good long-range poke, especially on taller characters or characters with really slow jumps. It just makes them harder in general to get in on Alex because he's hitting from so far away with this. It's one of his best attacks. Another thing too is that in general, when you cancel this in the chop, it combos into the medium chop, and if you want to combo this into the hard version of the chop, you got to hit this meaty. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't normally combo into the hard punch chop. The second thing this does is it prevents players from using V reversal with a hard read. So one of the safest options for opponents to stop Alex from doing his forward hard punch onslaught is to just use V reversal. It's guaranteed, but now it's not guaranteed because I can cancel it. So if you know the opponent's going to do it, you can just go like this and then lights out. So now Alex's forward hard punch is really scary. There always seems to be an answer now against the opponent's defense. And finally, the third thing this allows Alex to do is insanely damaging combos by canceling this into the hard version of his elbow, which you can do. So that's pretty crazy. I'll show you guys some examples. So if Alex lands a clean hit with his forward hard punch, or if you dizzy the opponent, it could already be lights out for them, because it just does so much damage and stun now. I should also add, if you predict your opponent backdashing after blocking a forward hard punch, or even a medium chop, you can punish them harder with a forward hard punch crush counter cancelled into a hard kick air knee smash, or even just use this as an anti-air in general. Let me show you guys. Okay, let's talk about Alex's forward medium punch now, his chop. They increased the disadvantage on block from -6 to -8. So this went from -4 at the beginning to -6 in Arcade Edition to -8 in the April patch. I think this will be -10 by June after they give Cammy an air fireball, so look forward to that, guys. Moving on, we have Alex's big boot. This is his V reversal. The startup increased from 16 to 17. Nothing special, it's just a universal normalization. All the knockdown V reversals are 17 frame startup now. Okay, next up we have Alex's medium flash chop. So they reduced the startup from 19 to 18 frames. This is another big buff for Alex actually. Alex can now combo to his medium flash chop from his standing medium punch without a counter hit. So the medium flash chop is super important to land on the opponent because unlike his light flash chop, which is +2 on hit, his medium flash chop is +3, allowing the perfect tick throw into his power bomb. The opponent can't mash out of it, so you can do something like this, right into the power bomb, Or if you think he's going to jump out, you can just do another standing medium punch. And that'll hit them before they can leave the ground, so you can go right back into it. You go like this, and when you think the opponent is going to block, you power bomb, so really scary. So with this change, Alex will be able to put the opponent in this situation a lot more, because before, the only way to land that medium flash chop, like I said, was a counter hit medium punch, or a standing hard punch, which was pretty uncommon, or the sledgehammer from his V-Trigger 1. So that really scary scenario now, you can just do that from a standing medium punch. Really good. Another thing is that his standing medium punch got buffed in AE, the first patch, because they made it do less pushback on hit. So before, if you kind of weren't like point blank with the standing medium punch, and you went into the medium chop, you weren't close enough to power bomb them, so you just lose it. So that kind of sucked. But now you can see you're just really close. No matter how many times I do it, it seems like I'm still in range. I mean, even with a counter hit standing medium punch twice, like this, like that, I mean, you're still in range. So really, really good buff for Alex. Next up, we have Alex's hard flash chop. He increased the damage from 90 to 100. So Capcom's just buffing this very slightly so players don't always use the medium chop, even though that's what they're gonna do, because that was such a great buff. But it's basically just a win-win, just something extra to give incentive that, hey, maybe sometimes you want to go for the hard punch chop and just go for damage. Moving on to EX Power Bomb, the throw hitbox startup reduced from 6 frames to 5. So finally, EX Power Bomb actually does something now, besides more damage, of course. So this is a pretty good buff. This is now 1 frame faster than Alex's regular power bombs. So Alex can tick grab with this, with normals that he couldn't before, such as standing light punch, crouching light punch, and standing medium punch, all +2 on block. So you can go crouching light punch, EX power bomb. It's a perfect tick grab. The opponent can't mash out of it, even if he has a 3 frame normal. Same with his standing medium punch, for example. Perfect tick grab. You can also use your light punch chop now too, because that leaves you +2 on hit. So if you confirm the light punch chop, it's a perfect tick grab into EX power bomb. And you can even use the EX stomp, because that's +2 on hit as well. So EX stomp now, same thing, perfect tick grab into the EX power bomb. Also, if there's an attack that the opponent does that's -5, you now have a more damaging option to punish them, of course. Or if they have a move that's -2 on block, a lot of people like to poke out. They can't mash out of it if you do an EX powerbomb right after you block it. So you force them to guess. So it makes Alex, it gives them another defensive option. Like if a Cadine player does her shoulder tackle into you, she's -2, you go EX powerbomb reversal. She cannot mash, she cannot delay tech, she has to commit to it. Okay, on to V-Trigger stuff. Alex's choke sleeper. So the throw hitbox startup reduced from 6 frames to 5. So this is a very small nerf to Alex. So he can't tick throw into his choke on block. So before, Alex can do his chop and then delay it on purpose, and then he can go into the choke and grab the opponent. But now you can't, because they're still in block stun, because they made it faster. So just a very small nerf to him. Now for Alex's flying DDT, another change to his V-Trigger 2. The damage has been decreased from 190 to 180, but they sped up the startup by 3 frames when performed as a cancel. So this is actually a big buff for DDT, because this means that Alex can now combo into his DDT from medium attacks such as crouching medium kick now. That combos, or a standing medium kick, for example. That also combos. So this is really good. This gives Alex like much stronger neutral in general, because these are really long range normals, and one that obviously hits low. So this, you know, if you hit someone with a crouching medium kick, obviously most of the time they're going to be standing, so you don't have to worry about your DDT whiffing. And if they step into your crouching medium kick range, you go right into a DDT. So pretty scary. And you can also convert like this as well, crouching medium kick DDT, and you can get that hard knockdown, which is really good. And Capcom slightly nerfed the damage on this to compensate. And the last thing I should mention is that Alex's V skill, which creates a hard hit, also a crush counter on his hard normals, this is not affected by the crush counter nerf changes, where it adds more scaling. If Alex does a hard hit, he'll get the full scaling. It won't be punished by that universal nerf. Even if he lands a counter hit with his hard hit, he still gets the full damage. So that's great that Capcom remembered about that, and Alex didn't get indirectly nerfed. So overall, Alex definitely got buffed. There's a lot of big buffs in this patch for him. The bottom line is that Alex still has like a way worse neutral without V-Trigger, and an even worse Oki than his Season 1 counterpart. It's still not as good as it was at the beginning, but right now with all these buffs, man, if he gets in on the opponent, he's an absolute monster. With his insane damage and stun, it's higher than that's ever been. So much more tick throw options now. His forward hard punch being one of the best normal attacks in the game right now. His V-Trigger 2 is also a lot more reliable with the DDT changes, so that's really good too. So, I mean, Alex is getting better for sure, man. For sure. And, like, basically the way the character works now is you either win hard or you lose hard with the character. One or the other. There is just no, like, middle ground with him. So, let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comments below, guys. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And, of course, like the video if you guys learned something from this. And I'll keep you guys posted with some more patch note videos in the future. So, till then, guys, take care.